Hey, this is your boy Locksmith, man, representing the Bay Area, California, West Coast, East Coast, worldwide. And right now, you're tuned in to All Hip Hop. Let's get it. Yee!
What's good, my people? I go by the name of DJ Thorough. My partner Chuck, he won't be here today. He's snowed in, so I'm going to hold it down. Got a special guest in the building all the way from the Bay. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, man, this is the one and only Locksmith out here at a touchdown with my people. Shout out All Hip Hop.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, this is not your first time in the NY or whatever.
Nah.
So, you enjoying the weather?
I love it, man. I enjoy the cold. I mean, I've been out here during blizzards.
Oh, well, yeah.
So this ain't that bad.
This ain't that bad.
You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
a little snow flurry here and there is all good. You know, you just bundle up. You know, I got my snow,
I see you.
Got
Got
shirt
your snow
on.
gear on, you know?
But it's it's cool, man. It's not that bad, you know?
Now, the weather, does it snow in the Bay?
No, never.
Never. It never snowed in the Bay.
Never. Maybe like in the mountains.
Well, yeah,
Up in the mountains.
Right.
But no, I've never seen
Right.
snow here.
All right, so listen, you in the city today.
Yeah.
Like, I like to jump right to the music because I'm about the music.
Yes, sir.
What do we have out? What are we promoting today?
Yeah, I got a new album that's coming. It's called No Atheists and Foxholes.
Okay.
And I've been releasing singles for the last 6-7 months, just like building anticipation.
Right.
And now I said, look, let me touch down in New York. I try to touch down everywhere: L.A., New York, the
Right.
South, and hit up all the platforms, allhiphop.com, and
Right.
yeah, man, and just try to show love. But the album is called No Atheists and Foxholes. It will be out maybe by the time this interview come out in the
Right.
next few weeks.
Now, break that title down. What does that mean?
Well, things have been hard for people, especially since the whole pandemic.
Very, very hard. Right.
Whether it's monetary, whether it's people just losing loved ones, all that type of thing.
Right.
So I felt like when I was creating this album, I'm making it with all these things in mind. I've seen people pass. Shout out to legendary DJ K Slay.
K Slay.
Things have been going, it's been rough.
Right.
And I wanted to create something that it was reflective of the time that was in. We've lost a lot of people.
Right.
DJ K Slay.
Right. Shout out to Slay,
Fred
man.
the Godson.
Yeah.
These are my people out here and numerous other folks, back in the Bay and all across the globe. But I wanted to create something like when times get rough, you may be like, oh, I don't believe in this. But when you get in that foxhole, that's when you start calling for that higher power.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? So that's kind of like that saying. I always liked that saying, and I always felt like when I was creating these songs, that I felt like that title kind of encapsulated what I was doing.
Now, speaking of songs, obviously, other than yourself, who's on the project?
Oh, I got a lot of dope features, man.
Okay.
Since we out here in the East Coast, I got Ransom.
Shout out to Ransom.
Ransom
is dope, man.
Illest Pins.
He's
period.
ill.
I got my man Slain.
Okay.
He's from up there in Boston. I got people from the Bay.
Obviously.
Pilo.
Right.
I Am Sue.
Right.
A dope, incredible artist. She's a lyricist and a songwriter and a vocalist. Her name is Jane Hancock.
Okay.
She's incredible. Rex Life Raj. Who else do I got? I mean, I got a lot of people. Recognize.
Right.
And a slew of other people.
And a slew of other
forgetting
people.
some. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I have a little bit more features. I mean, I got my joints by myself, but I wanted to expand and bring more people into what I was doing.
Into what you was doing.
Yeah.
Now, typically, so I'm from the East Coast.
For sure.
From New York. Yeah. But I have a vast knowledge of music from every region.
Yeah, you be all over.
Be all over the place.
All over the place.
So I love the Bay Area because I'm back to the days of Mac Dre, Keek the Snake,
Dre,
Yuck Mouth,
yes sir,
San Quentin, all of these people. A lot of people don't even know Master P actually got a start in Richmond. He started. That's where he started.
Absolutely.
No Limit at. It wasn't in New Orleans.
Yep, right there.
So obviously Too Short, E40, Ant Banks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like
shout out Ant Banks. Legendary.
I mean, so the Bay Area. From when I was in tune to it, still in tune to it.
Yeah.
Bay Area, they still do. The Bay Area has a sound. Like you could tell.
Yeah.
When somebody is from the Bay Area.
Yeah, they got that Bay Area game too. You know what I mean?
but in my opinion, in your case, you're a little different because you're more on the, I would say, lyrical.
Absolutely.
Like you seem to be more East Coast influence.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah. So
how did that happen?
Growing up, I had two older siblings.
Okay.
Well, I have more than that, but the two ones that I was most influenced by, I had an older brother and an older sister. My sister was an MC as well. And my brother was more into East Coast rap.
Right.
So my brother was playing EPMD, Big Daddy Kane.
Right.
BDP.
BDP.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so I was listening to that. I was growing up, so I was influenced by that. But then my sister was playing Easy E. You know what I'm saying? Too Short.
Too Short.
MC Hammer.
Right.
You know?
Can't touch this.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Legendary stuff.
Shout out to Hammer too.
So
man.
I feel like I got those influences, but
Right.
but when my sister was MCing, my sister was lyrical too. Like,
Okay.
you know, she was touring, but she did a showcase. I don't know, you might remember this. It was a showcase that used to happen on the West Coast called the Gavin.
The Gavin, of course, the
Remember the
Gavin
Gavin?
convention. Yeah, of
My
course.
sister was performing at the
Oh
Gavin.
snap!
And she was at one end and she was like, yo, it was this dude that everybody's talking about. His name is Nas.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Ooh.
And I was like, what? And it was like, yeah. And then I remember ABC or 2020 did a special on Nas's Illmatic.
Right.
And I remember hearing that album, and that was the first album that made me want to rap.
Want to rap? It was Nas.
It was when I heard Illmatic, I was like, it made me, I started that was the first time I started freestyling when
right.
I heard that.
When you heard that.
And yeah, so I think that's like the core of where it came
That's
from.
the core where it came
Yeah,
from.
I never heard, I heard Rakim, because I feel like Rakim was like the predecessor, you know what I mean?
Right.
Precursor for Nas. But
Well, he is. He's the reason why Nas is running.
Exactly.
So it's all, you know,
and I love Rakim, but
Right.
when I heard Nas, I felt like it was right there. I was on level with that, like as far as I could feel what he was talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, being from the Bay Area and, you know, I guess doing your style of hip hop,
Yeah.
was it difficult for you to fit in out there because that's not necessarily what was going on in terms
Yeah.
of the sound or whatever?
Yeah, you know, it is a little bit of a challenge, but I still, you know, it is also a part of me too.
Right.
So my journey is a little different because I have different people that know me for different things.
Right.
So I have folks that know me for because I started off in the battle world.
Oh, yeah,
You know
we're
what I'm
gonna
saying?
get into that.
Yeah, yeah. So I had the battle stuff.
Right.
And then I also had my group, the Frontline, and we was making Bay Area classics with the big homie EA Ski.
EA Ski.
So EA Ski, so we was
Dope
performing,
producer.
making these songs that was blowing up all over the radio.
Right.
We was performing at Summer Jam. We was performing at the Bomb concerts, going up and down the West Coast,
Right.
performing these Bay Area anthems.
Right.
The hyphy movement.
The hyphy. Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Rick Rock and all them.
Exactly.
Come on,
Shout
I
out
know
to
what's
Rick
going on.
Rock. So yeah. So we was doing all that stuff. So
Right.
I was able to get the Bay embrace, but at the same time, it's like, yo, when you put on this, you know what I mean? You want to put on this freestyle, let me do my thing. Then it's like, yo, this dude is lyrical.
Right.
So once that kind of chapter in my career kind of came to an end, I leaned more into the lyrical shit because
lyrical.
that's really my passion,
That's your
of what I
passion.
do. Not saying I can't do that because if you listen to the new album, I do have those things.
Right.
But when I come to New York, I'm coming out here to, you know, take heads off.
Take
you know
heads
what
off,
I'm saying?
right? No, I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. Now speaking of battling, and shout out to one of our friends from the Bay Area, Mr. F.A.B.
Mr. F.A.B, that's my
Every
brother.
time he comes here, he checks in with my boy Wonder
Yep.
and One World
Yep.
Studios.
Always been fan.
Everything he's recorded in New York has been in this actual studio.
That's
where
dope.
This
That's
is
dope.
where he comes right here. So
Yeah.
shout out to Mr. F.A.B.
Yeah, I got to get up in here, man.
Oh, no, we're gonna make it happen. You never know. Keep watching.
Yeah.
You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah.
But you and Mr. F.A.B. actually battled.
Yeah, back in the day, a few times.
And
Yeah.
and it's safe to say you got him.
Well, look,
that
no,
safe to say?
you know what? I'm gonna put it like this. I have a
Oh, what happened? I ain't
no,
gonna go
no.
there.
I have a
What
tremendous amount of respect for F.A.B.
Right, okay.
I have a tremendous amount of respect for anybody that steps in the battle arena.
Right.
F.A.B. is incredible
dope.
at
He's
what he
dope.
does. We had a battle where we had to battle to go to the MTV. Remember Sway had the MTV battle
Of
that was up
course,
there?
I remember.
So we had a battle to see who would get to
get there, right.
and it was relentless. We was going back and forth, you know what I
Right.
mean? And I came out on top that day.
So-
But it's all love and
It's all-
respect,
yeah,
and I
it's
was
all
able to
love
go
and
in and represent,
Right.
put on for the Bay, you know what I
Right.
mean? And but yeah, you know, it was a dope time, man. Like every time it wasn't just F.A.B, it was a lot of folks. We was all kind of in that area.
Right.
We were the Bay, like you said, you had the hyphy stuff, but we still was
still-
MCs.
right,
We were
MCs,
still,
right.
you know what I mean, lyrical. Like we still could get down, freestyling songs, whatever.
Right.
So that, I feel like that was in our DNA. That was
Right.
in our makeup, you know,
Definitely.
because we all wanted to be complete artists.
Glad you said that. Let's talk about complete artists.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'll go first. In my opinion, we don't have. There's a lot less complete artists.
Yes.
We have a lot of what I call moment music. It's just for the
Yeah.
moment. Microwave popcorn music.
Yeah, yeah.
Instant. You know, we don't really have true artists.
Yeah.
People are doing this for money.
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't be doing it if it was like me. I DJ, right?
Yeah.
I would be DJing if it was.
Yeah.
I didn't DJ to make money. I
Yeah,
DJ
yeah.
because I love music and
Yeah,
I want to learn how to DJ.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but I think we get a lot of artists that have no passion to this. They don't love the craft. They're only doing it because it serves them financially, or they want to be popular? How do you
it
feel?
probably, I feel like, so I always say this, when I came into this, I came into it because I had a genuine, I developed this passion for hip hop, for rap, for music, you know what I mean? Like, so I didn't get into it like, this was never a come up. It was never like, oh, I'm just doing this as a hustle. I'm doing this because like, yo, I want to get good at this.
Right.
And I want fools to be like, yo, you hear this dude? You know what I mean?
Right.
Once I got that validation from just people in the barbershop or people like, yo, what did he just say? I was like, oh, I think I can get real good at this. You know what I mean? So it all started from that love of the art, love of the craft. And now some people, because rap has been it's been a commodity now. It's been, you know, you can monetize it so easily. Like in the 90s, it was still kind of, we were sure, like, can we really monetize this? And then once it became big and now it's the dominant genre, everybody like, oh shit, let me jump in. But you see the ones who really love it and do it for the art form because they don't have to do it that way, but that's what they choose to do.
You can tell by the quality of music, you know, that the ones that love it, they last pretty much. Yeah. You know,
because still the biggest artists are the lyrical artists,
which
Kendrick,
is
J. Cole, like they're selling out stadiums.
And the reason why I think people don't copy that format is because it takes talent. It takes dedication.
Yeah, you can't
copy it. It takes dedication to do what J. Cole is doing. It takes dedication and know-how and determination and talent to do what Kendrick is doing.
Absolutely.
So
that's a much more difficult path.
Right. So
like, you know, you're not gonna just, especially in today's climate. Right. You know, that's not the thing that's just gonna be quickly achieved and put out there. Yo, can I just go viral? It's like it's just a slot machine. Let me just keep filling the slot machine till something comes up. And there's good and bad to that, you know. And the good is like, hey, it opens the gate where a lot of people have an opportunity. The bad thing is it opens the gate where too many people have an opportunity, so you don't get to weed those things out. Right.
It's funny you said, you made a comment about when you saw Nas. You said when you heard Nas, you decided I want to do that. It made you want to rap.
Absolutely.
I think the flip side to that is now you see people on TV that rap, they're whack. Yeah. And anybody
they said like, yo, I could do that.
Yeah. That's what you get. We get a whole bunch of people that can do that. Yeah. It's not like sports. You can't do what LeBron do. Yeah. You couldn't do what Kobe do. Yeah. So you don't think you could do that, but we have a lot of people that.
But you know what's crazy?
That you can do.
This is crazy. When I rap, particularly like if I'm doing like a freestyle or something like that, if I don't make niggas think. If niggas think that I can do that, I didn't do my job. I want them to be like, man, I can't do this. I want people to be like, man, I quit. That's why I rap. Like I rap so other rappers can be like, man, I don't want to do
I don't want to do that. Right. And that's
because that's what I heard when I heard Nas, when I heard Jay, Cannabis. I was like, Eminem, I was like, I don't want to rap. Like I was literally depressed when I heard the first time I heard Eminem. I was like, yo, man, what niggas, what we gonna do? Right. What is this? Or when I heard Cannabis, I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? When I heard Hove, I was just like, how is he doing these double entendres?
No, I get it.
What, you know what I mean?
I was the same way when I heard DJ Scratch from PMD. I'm like, how does he do? How's he doing that? I can't do that shit.
Yeah,
like,
but it pushed you.
But you pushed me to learn that shit. You know?
Yeah, man.
So and that creates more dope people. But you just get somebody up there yelling a bunch of nonsense, and you're right. You can do that. Yeah. And everybody does it, and you just it's watered down with.
It's watered down.
I can do that MC. I can do that. Well, that's the new. I can do that type music.
Oh, I could do that.
I could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, well, speaking.
I might make that a song.
See, I need my 90% commission. What? I'm getting paid already.
Yeah.
We'll do it together. You know what I mean? I'll do the hook.
For sure.
See, I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Quick, the song is done, just like that. Chris Webby.
That's my brother. Yeah.
Talk about your relationship with him. And
on the album.
Yeah, you got Chris Webby.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
See, I didn't forget you, Chris.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's my brother from CT. Yeah.
Right, from CT. Yeah. He was rocking with my guy Money Nails, and I did some beats for him.
Dope.
A couple years ago or whatever.
Dope. Yeah, I toured with Webby extensively. Yeah.
Right. So, what's your relationship with Webby in terms of music?
That's my guy, man. That's my guy. I've known Webby. I think I met him up at Sirius. You know what I'm saying? We met probably back in like 2013, 2014. So it's been about 10 years.
And why did you guys decide to work together? Why did you want?
I don't know. Just mutual respect.
Mutual respect.
You know what I mean?
He's dope too. A lot of people don't. He can rap. He can spit.
Webby can spit.
He's dope.
Bro.
He's dope.
Bro, I've toured. I've probably done 100 shows with Webby.
Wow.
On the road. You know, I've seen him. See, I'm the type of artist, man. I try to learn from everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've been on tour with different people. including Webby, and I watched him, you know, him headlining. He had, yo, Lock, I want to, you know, he hit me up like, yo, because we did some songs together.
Right.
He was like, yo, you want to come out on the road with me? I'm like, yeah, let's do it, you know? And I watch him perform in front of, you know, sellout crowds, and I'm watching and learn. I'm like, yo. So I take that information and I come back and I grow from it and try to add to that, you know? But Webby is just a very dope songwriter, very dope lyricist, and he has a great stage performance, and he's really, and I learned a lot watching him and how he handles his business, touring and all that stuff. So he's
incredible. I'm glad you brought that up about him touring for sellout crowds, because people's idea of success is subjective and tainted, because they think if you're not on the radio, or
a lot of people that's touring,
right? Go say it. You already know where I'm going with this.
That I've been on the road with, including myself. If you are an independent artist and you are able, it's touring, streaming art. When I hear people complaining about that, I'm like, you're probably not doing it right.
Right.
If you're independent and you're touring and your music is streaming, you're selling your music, you're probably making more money than the artists.
You're doing better than the people you think that got it. My analogy is, if you're an independent artist and you're getting paid to perform, you have made it. It's subjective.
Exactly.
You can't look at, oh, I'm not on the radio, or I'm not on Billboard. You're making a living.
Yeah.
Doing your craft.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Yeah.
Woo! That's a song. Is that a bar?
No, that's a saying, man.
Oh man, that sounds like some shit Nas would have said.
Yeah. Cause sleep is the cousin of death. Comparison is the thief of happiness.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, but yeah, like I said, it's subjective, man. Like people think because you're not on the radio, or they don't see you in the clubs, your music not played in the clubs or the radio. Yeah. That's how most people define success in music. There are people selling out shows that don't touch the radio, don't touch the clubs.
I mean, I just did a, you know, I'm gonna do the East Coast next, but I just did a whole West Coast, Midwest tour on my own.
But you're perfect. You're a walking example.
I was able to do that. You know, I've done, and this is my 4th time doing it. You know, I've done a whole nationwide. I want to say, United States and Canada, 70 shows in 90 days.
In 90 days.
You know what I mean?
Add it up.
I get to keep all the money, you know, minus expenses and fees and but I get to keep the money. I get to keep the merch money.
Right.
But it takes, you have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to, like, do you really want to press up your own merch?
Right.
Do you really want to rent a van or a Sprinter yourself? Are you really willing to sacrifice those things? But not everybody wants to do that.
Yeah, they want instant success.
Instant gratification.
They want to just upload a song on YouTube and do a bunch of dumb shit and hope it pops. But
sometimes that can be your detriment, because if it blows up and you're not ready for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've had that certain times, like early in the game, I had songs that was going viral before viral was viral.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or I had songs
before they labeled it.
Yeah. Songs on the radio, and I didn't understand touring.
Right.
I didn't understand independent marketing and those type of things. And it's constantly changing. You know?
Well, you're from the land of independent artists.
Yeah.
The Bay Area is the land of independent.
But you know what though? It's different because at that point in time, it's changed now.
Okay.
But we talking about, like we said, the hyphy shit.
The hyphy shit, right.
2005 to 2010. Yes, the independent mentality, Too Short, Mac Dre,
right.
40,
right.
Hammer,
right.
Independent legends.
Right.
But the scene was changed. So when we was popping off, we didn't understand, or at least I didn't understand, how to monetize it as far as touring. So we had a song that was popping. Somebody would give us a bag just to perform 10 minutes at a club.
Right.
We didn't understand that if we did things differently, we could get that same bag, maybe a little less, but we can get it in Portland. We can get it in Seattle. We can get it in Colorado. We can, you know what I mean?
Right, I got you.
It may not be the same amount, but you're spreading your music, you're laying the seed. Mm-hmm. But if you're so used to getting the bag in San Jose, in LA, and you know, Las Vegas, you're like, look, we ain't got to do nothing. We get up here and perform for 10 minutes.
Right.
So you have to change your mind frame. You know, you can't always take the paper bag money. Sometimes you have to go to Colorado and take the, you know what I mean?
It's a collective route. It's a collective, you know? You can make $1 million collectively.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you could do 10 shows for 100,000, or you could wait for $1 million one show.
Exactly.
Which one you gonna do?
It all depends on how you want to do it.
Depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, but what's gonna last longer?
If you
do the 10 shows, you're building a fan base for everyone.
I've worked with artists, I won't say any names, but that have turned down more money than they have.
Yeah.
Like literally, you know what I mean? And they don't realize
I don't know how you do that.
They do it. They'll turn down this for instance, they'll turn on a show for 10,000, then a show for 5,000, then a show for 6,000, then a show for 7,000, then a show for 9,000. You do that for 3 years, and then I write down everything you turn down, and I go like, do you have $3 million in the bank right now? No. Well, this is what you turned down.
You got to work.
You know what I mean?
So
work. It's collective. It's a collective process.
Sir.
You don't happen overnight.
Yeah, man. You have to you have to be willing to put in the work, put in the ground. Like I go to shows, like I just did a tour. I went to Salt Lake City. It was a small
Utah.
Show. Yeah, I love it. It was a small show. The owner asked me to come back personally. Like, yo, we need you to come back, do another show. You build every time you go there.
Right.
You build, and then one day that 10,000 could turn into 30,000.
30,000. Right.
40,000, 50. So you just laid. It's a long game.
Right.
It's a long game.
Right. So you're strictly hands-on everything. You do your merch. You press up everything. You're like.
Well, I'm not pressing it up in my house, but I outsource it.
You outsource it.
Yeah, I outsource it and pay for it.
Right.
I ain't like the homie LaRussell in the garage. You know what I mean?
You're not like Jeff Bezos.
But I'm about to get to that point, though. You know what I mean? Right. Well, I'm gonna do it because I'm like, yo, I could be saving a lot of money. I buy this pressing machine one time. You know what I mean? But yeah, I outsource it. A couple different spots, and get my merch, and
you get the merch.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, what's your process for making music? Like, is it like whatever mood you're in, that's the song or whatever?
Yeah, it could come as an idea. Sometimes it could start with a title.
Okay.
Like well, I have one song called Hypocrites where I had the things I wanted to talk about, but I didn't have a beat yet.
Right.
So sometimes. A lot of times I like to start with the beat.
I was gonna say you listen to the beat and the beat tells you where to go.
Yeah.
Or you already have
I would say 70% of the time it starts with the beat.
Okay.
But sometimes I have a topic that I got to get off and I can't find the beat or I can't make it or whatever.
Right.
So I think I maybe took like I think it was a Biggie, you know what I mean, or Jay-Z. What was the one? Who's the best MC? Biggie, where I'm from. Yeah. I think it was just that beat. I was just like, I'm gonna write it to that beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then once I had like 16 bars or half the song, I was like, all right, now I need to find the beat. I'm gonna produce it around what I'm talking about.
Right. Yeah. Now, are you an artist? Because we're in the era of I don't write nothing down. Or do you still write?
No, I don't write nothing.
Have you ever done that?
I've never done that. Never written.
Wow,
no,
really?
No. I've always.
Even when you first started.
When I very first started.
Okay.
Yeah. Like when I was bad, I would write but it never. I was always memorizing first.
Right.
So I would memorize lines and then I would write them down, but then I end up not even, I think one time I left my notebook at home.
Right.
And then I was like, well, I already know it. So then after that, I was like, this feels better to me.
Right.
But I am writing it in my head. I take the time to recite it over and over again. Yeah. But it wasn't something I was trying to do. It just kind of happened.
Because my thing with that, sometimes I hear artists brag about they don't write. And sometimes I'm like, you need to write.
You need to write,
because that shit is garbage, brother. You should write.
Yeah, you should write.
You should.
Because I think they're doing it to just catch a vibe.
Right. That's
you know
cool,
what I'm saying?
But the finished product is what matters.
Exactly.
And if you wrote, you got to ask yourself, okay, if I write, can I write this better than that?
Yes.
Before I put this.
Well, it's just weird, but I could see it in my head. Like I can see the lyric. Like
no, I get it.
I'm writing it, so I'm constantly editing it.
I'm like that with music. Like I could see a kick.
I see
the snare. I see the hi hat. Like I see it. Like it's weird.
You could probably beatbox.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I see it.
Exactly.
You know I mean? It's almost like looking at Pro Tools.
Yeah.
I see that grit.
There you go.
I mentally see that in my head when I'm listening to beats.
I know that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what that is. Now, has the internet helped or hurt you?
Oh, I think it's helped tremendously.
Okay. In what way? Other than the obvious, you get seen more by people without having to travel.
Information. But so sometimes too much information can be a bad thing.
Right.
If you don't have the understanding and the wisdom to decipher what to do with that information, because I see people, I was just talking about this, people post things, it could be social, political stuff, and I'm like, yo, that's 100% not true.
Right.
People I know that are in the industry, particularly, they post things and I'm like, yo, or sites, websites, blog sites, credible sites. I'm like, yo, that information is not, like, you can and then they'll fact check it and then write a story and be like, oh, this was incorrect. But the correction is never big as the mistake.
Right. You know why? Because media's job is to be first.
Yep.
Not the truth.
Not to be true.
They want to be the first report on something, whether it's true or not. Yeah.
That's the same with even individuals on social media.
Right.
Oh, I see this person post this, I'm gonna post this. Well, did you check to see? Like, a lot of people try to DM me, leave stuff in my comments. Yo, Lock, you need to say this. Like, first of all, trying to what do you call it? Not encourage me, but guilt trip me into speaking on certain things. Like, look, if you know who I am and you know what I stand for, then you can probably understand where I'm coming from. But the people who are just casually trying to force you or pressure you, you can't pressure me because I'm solid on who I am and what I believe.
Right.
So, and I have an understanding of things. So even the shit that other people post, I'm like, you don't even know what you're doing and you're spreading misinformation.
Right. Now, you're a very outspoken person, very intelligent, by the way, too.
Thank you.
Do you ever get any backlash for things you've said or say?
Yeah, some backlash, but like I said, I'm very confident.
Okay.
I have OGs, I have mentors, I've studied, I have certain things that I feel confident in. Things that I don't feel confident in, I don't really talk about it too much.
Right.
Unless there are certain things that I feel confident about, that I'm like, okay, these are facts. I'll speak on that. Or when things are my opinion, they're my opinion. And a lot of times I pose questions.
Right.
And sometimes those questions make people uncomfortable. But that means that's more of a reflection of you than of me.
Right.
So I don't really worry about those backlash because I know my foundation is solid.
Right. Now, this is like a two-part question, but what's your opinion on the state of hip hop, and what's your opinion on the lyricism in hip hop?
I think hip hop is in a good place because
overall, you think where we are right now, you think it's good?
Well, there's good and there's bad. Okay. I think the good part is there are a lot of dope lyricists out there, and you can find them now because of technology, because of the internet, you know. But the bad thing is, it's so much that it's hard to get through it. It's hard to sift through it. But at the end of the day, it's like if you're scrolling your phone and all you looking is at pizza, then you're gonna get hella pizza advertisement. Right. You know what I'm saying? If all you into cars or females, you're gonna get hella female. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if you're into dopes, if you're into Locksmith, and you liking my post and sharing it, then you're gonna get more stuff that maybe, well, you ain't gonna find nobody on my level, but
we talking this shit. I like this.
You're gonna find things that are similar to your, you know what I mean? Like if you looking up stuff about the ocean and oceanography and all that kind of stuff, you're gonna find stuff about that. So it's all depends. I don't know what's in your algorithm, but my algorithm has certain things. So it all depends on what's in your, in your circumference.
Right. Now, musically, what inspires you?
What inspires me day to day?
Is there a certain artist that maybe inspire you, or
what? Yeah. So right now, I mean, Jay still.
Jay, okay.
The stuff that Nas and Hit Boy. Yeah. I think Hit Boy is just one of the best producers.
Yeah.
He is. Of like the newer kind of. Yeah. I mean, he's not new, but he's newer.
He's doing dope hip hop music.
He's doing dope, and he's very versatile.
Yeah, very.
My man Arsonist. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, come on, man. Heatmakers.
That's my brother.
He gave Dipset a sound.
I mean, he is but he's so versatile. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's incredible. Lyricists, like I said, Jay, those are legacy dudes. J. Cole, Kendrick, younger guys like Corday.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think he's super dope. I mean, the East Coast got 38 Special.
38 Special.
All these guys. Ransom is ill. His pen is like, unmatched. From the Bay, La Russell. Okay. You know what I'm saying? The homie Simba. Right. Their pen, you know what I mean, of the the newer kind of guys that are doing things. So I try to listen. I'm inspired to everything, and then I still like turn up stuff to a certain degree. But my bread and butter, I like something with substance.
Something with substance. Yeah. Right. Now, have you ever, when at any point in your career where you like pressured to do something outside of what you are as an artist, like let me do this, let me try this.
I try not to be bullheaded and stubborn, so I do have tried certain things, but it's never anything. I don't feel like I've ever done anything to compromise my integrity. Right. You know what I mean? So there are certain things like I could have did that different. Right. You know what I mean? Like I know what I was trying to do, but I didn't really have the information to do that properly at that time. Right. But I don't feel like I've done anything. I think my track record speaks for itself in that sense. Right. Yeah. Right.
Now, this is a good question that I always like to ask artists of your caliber.
Yeah.
Who are your top 5 dead or alive lyricists?
It's good. Okay, so it's changed over time now.
As it should. It would. You know what I mean? And it's your top 5.
This is my
not the top 5.
No, this is my top 5. So when I say my top 5, these are the ones who had impact on me.
Right, on you.
So number 1 is Jay-Z. That's my number one.
It's your boy.
I love Jay. I just think that he's laid the blueprint.
No pun intended.
Exactly, for to mature in hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? KRS-One, BDP.
Come on, man. You're talking that talk now.
You know what I'm saying? When I heard, Criminal Minded, it's just, to me, it's just still better probably than 90%.
It is
of
because
anything.
It's substance.
It's substance. Criminal Minded. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So that's two, right? Ice Cube.
Ooh,
I feel like
that's one of my favorites, man.
His first three projects.
Right.
America's Most Wanted.
Right.
Kill at Will.
Right.
Death Certificate. And that's not even including NWA.
Right.
Those three albums, I feel like that's supreme. I mean, you got the Bomb Squad. You know what I'm saying?
Shock Lee. That's just people, boy wonder.
I mean, to come from the West Coast and to do an album with them, I mean, it was just like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
The nigga you love to hate. Yeah, so how many is that? We got
that's Ice Cube,
Jay,
and KRS-One.
So that's three.
Yes, three. And Ice Cube was an incredible storyteller, man. Incredible storyteller.
I'm gonna put Kendrick.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
I'm gonna put Kendrick.
Again, it's your.
He's shown for the last little over 10 years that he's got like two classics, damn near. You know what I mean? Like,
would you say Pimp a Butterfly's one?
No, I don't even like Pimp. That's not the one I like. I like Good Kid, Bad City.
Right.
And I like Damn.
And Damn, okay. Some people say Pimp a Butterfly too.
Yeah. Some people. To me,
but it's you.
I like
right.
Good Kid, Mad City, or even Section 80. But I say Good Kid, Mad City because that was the production was on par, and I think Damn.
Right.
Damn was my favorite one. So Kendrick has moved in there. He deserves it.
Right.
So that's 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5, I go back and forth with this. Because sometimes I think about Eminem. Sometimes I go old school, See
that term old school?
Well, not old. Something like from the 80s.
From the 80s, okay.
To me, I consider like anything like pre-95.
Pre-95, right.
You know what I mean? Is, or pre-90s.
Right.
But sometimes I say Eminem, you know what I mean? Because I feel like his first 3 albums was just incredible. You know what I mean? Right. Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, and Eminem Show.
Right. Because we're speaking lyrically here.
Yes, lyrically. Yeah, well, I'm just talking overall. I just think it's. Right. I mean, I feel like Eminem on Dr. Dre's production was fucking phenomenal.
I mean, it took him out of here.
Yeah. But and then, Biggie, I put Biggie because I feel like he wasn't around long enough.
He wasn't.
I feel like
he was 24 when he died.
Yeah, I feel like he was gonna be there.
He was 24.
So I kind of put Biggie with Jay.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like Biggie, like Jay, is an extension of that lineage.
Right.
You know what I mean? From Bed-Stuy, from you know what I mean? Right. So so that's why I don't put Biggie in there. It wasn't long enough. Nas, because of his influence, that first album, the first 2 albums and stuff, he's shown it, but today, I'm gonna say Tupac.
Tupac? I'm not mad at that.
I'm gonna put Tupac. So I got Tupac, Kendrick, Q, KRS-One, Jay-Z.
And Jay-Z. Yeah. I'm not mad at that. Again, everything you've named is something of substance. So you will still be listening to this stuff 30, 40 years later. It'll resonate with what's going on now. Everything KRS-One was talking about in 86, 87, 88, it still resonates.
Yeah.
That's timeless, substance. Music.
Absolutely, yeah. Stick to your bones.
Stick to your, and that's why he's still around.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And nobody can touch him with a live show.
Right. Oh yeah, I've seen.
See, that's another. Right. Now we talk about that's a different thing.
Right.
Because KRS-One, I've performed with him.
Right.
I opened up for him.
I've
he is a performer. He's an orator, and and you cannot take that away.
Right. So a couple more questions. Like, what is your dream for hip hop? Like, if you could wish anything to happen for hip hop,
grow up. You know what I'm saying? I want hip hop to be accountable.
Right.
I want hip hop to grow up. And I know it has a lot of hip hop has a lot to it, but I want, as far as the music, right, and the way it's portrayed, I want hip hop to grow up. You know what I mean? And I want it to be okay for you to grow up and take accountability.
Right. I understand what you're saying. And not to single out any artist, but to grow up is to, in my opinion, we don't have enough artists rapping their age.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because people say we're not playing sports.
Yeah.
The older you are, the sharper and lyrical and more intelligent you are.
Yeah.
So you should be giving jewels, and it should be growth.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be 40, 35 making songs for 16 or 16
you have to make, look, I mean, if you're an immature person,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I think you have to be honest with who you are, and I think that's where the accountability comes.
Right.
I know some motherfuckers that's like, you know what I'm saying?
No, right. And they force it, and it just doesn't look, it doesn't sit right. It doesn't, it doesn't, not to me either. It doesn't work. People fail to realize the people that are rapping that are 35, 40, 45, 50, whatever. There are people your age that want to hear something from your perspective.
You got granddads, you know
right,
who grew up on hip hop,
right?
Now, you know,
because Andre 3000 made a comment saying that he's 48 and he don't know what to talk about. Yeah. How do you feel about that comment? So,
I think Dre. I don't know him,
right?
But from just what I've seen and observed, I think that Dre is just an artist, man. He's just such an artist in so many different ways.
Right.
And hip hop happened to be the thing in his age and his era. That was his canvas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's in his blood to be an artist. And I feel like once he got older, he's so artistic, he probably wants to just go and do different things. I don't agree with that statement.
Right.
Because obviously we have so many examples that prove otherwise,
right,
you know, of guys who are older, who are mature, right, and they're making music that people love. I mean, it's just about timing and how it is. I always find it's funny how Big Daddy Kane and Jay-Z is like the same age.
Yeah, people don't
understand that. But he started in a different era.
As a matter of fact, Jay might be older.
Yeah, no, I think Big Daddy is 1 year older.
1 year older, okay. They're basically the same age.
Y'all went to high school together.
They went to high school together.
You went to high school together. So, I think that it's all about perception. It's all about how you look. And I'm not throwing shade on Big Daddy, because Big Daddy Kane is still incredible and he's still killing it. You know what I mean? But I think that people like Jay-Z is like, look, you can be, 40, you get 50, and you can still create hip hop that the world stops and listens to. Everybody listens to.
Right.
And I think that's dope,
Right. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think what Andre is saying too, he's caught up into what I'm saying. He sees what's going on, and he feels like if I talk about something with substance, these people don't want to hear it.
Nah.
I think that he's frustrated with the current state of hip hop, and he don't feel like people can appreciate it.
From people that I heard, he got an album.
I'm sure he does.
He got an album.
Right.
It's gonna come.
Right.
I think it's gonna come.
Right, but he doesn't tour.
He don't do nothing. He ain't got to.
He don't have to. I mean,
he ain't got to.
He's filthy rich. He walks around playing the flute with
a didgeridoo
on.
That's he walk around with a didgeridoo.
That's when you got money. When you walk around town playing a flute.
Yeah.
you don't got to worry about turning down $100 million shows.
Yep.
You got some bread. Word, you definitely got some bread.
Yeah.
So I guess before we close this up, man, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because you intrigue me with your with your thought process and the way you approach music, right? So let's say if I produced a song, right?
Yeah.
I say, yo, Locksmith, I got this record, right?
Yeah.
I want you to do a record, and you could put any artist on a record. But here's the catch: hypothetically, the artist could be dead or alive. It could be from any era and any genre of music. Doesn't have to be hip hop. It could be whatever genre of music. Country, calypso, reggae, salsa, whatever. One artist though, dead or alive, from any era and any genre. Who would you do a song with? Tick tock. It's like Jeopardy, right?
I'ma still go Jay.
Jay?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Jay-Z.
That's my
Why Jay-Z?
I mean, that's my GOAT. I mean, I feel like the way he raps and the way he articulates things is just game. It's game personified. It's intricate lyricism. It's songwriting.
Right.
It's just it inspires me. I mean, that's my favorite.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of people in the history, you know what I mean? But Jay is gonna be my number one.
Jay gonna be your number one. All right, so before we get out of here, man, is there anything else you want to speak on, chop it up about?
Nah, man.
Touch on that we didn't, speak on.
I feel like we covered a lot of game, man. We covered a lot of ground. Just, make sure y'all tune in what I'm doing. IamLock.com, you know, DA Locksmith on Instagram, DA Locksmith on TikTok, Locksmith on Facebook, and yeah, just tap in with me.
How did you get the name Locksmith?
Oh, it's not something super complicated. When I first started rapping, we was in a group, and you know, just not really a group, just the homies getting together rapping. And the first song that we like really recorded like onto an ADAT, you know what I mean? We thought we was official,
right?
And I just said something like, you know what I'm saying, something they jocked this lyrical locksmith,
right? And
then my homies. Matter of fact, it was we were and they were like, yo, you the locksmith. I was like, nah, that's a stupid name, I don't want that. But then I did a battle. Remember Source used to have the freestyle battle, unsigned hype battle. They came to the Bay, and we had to write our name down. It was like, oh, what's your name? I was like, is this you? I was like, yeah, Locksmith. He was like, yo, that's a hot name. And then I was like, yo, dude from the Source said my name was hot. I was like, I'm gonna stick with it.
You're gonna stick with it, right?
Yeah, so that was my validation. I was like, all right, I'm gonna stay with it. You
ever heard of Wordsmith?
Absolutely, I met Wordsmith.
Yeah, that's Kanye boy. Y'all should do a project, Locksmith and Wordsmith. What would you call that album? The Smith Brothers?
Yeah, that could be like the Smiths.
The Smiths, right? The Smiths.
Yeah.
So look out for the album too.
Yeah,
man. That's what I do.
Yeah.
All right, man. So that's what it is, man. Once again, how can they follow you?
Yeah, go to IamLock.com.
Okay.
All my socials is linked to that, or just go to the Locksmith, DA Locksmith, Instagram, TikTok, and Locksmith on Facebook.
All right, that's what it is, man.
My brother.
AllHipHop.com, DJ Thorough.
Shout out DJ Thorough, man.
Locksmith.
My
and
brother.
like always, I carry this everywhere. When you see us, one knee us. That means get on one knee and kiss the ring. Pay respect. Yeah. So I got bars too.
Yes, sir. My brother. That was dope.